The entire purpose of Classic Game Room HD is to review new and classic games on a level playing field. Which is to say that obviously games like BioShock and Warhawk have tremendous graphics and a beautifully well-designed immersive world to play in. But does that mean that they're any more fun necessarily than games that came out in the late 70s or 80s? And games like Planet Patrol look very crude and rudimentary, but they can still be tremendously fun. They probably won't hold your interest as long as BioShock or Warhawk, or Halo 3 or Resistance Fall of Man. But you know, this game is a nice, simple pleasure. This is Planet Patrol. This is a very obscure game. And I love space games and just collected a whole bunch of them over the past decade or two. I dusted this one off and threw it in the Atari, and here it is. This game is pretty advanced in many ways for an Atari game. For one thing, you fly from day into night, and then back into day, which is kind of interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before in an Atari game. In fact, I have here the object of the game from the instruction manual. Your assignment is to patrol your planet day and night. As you fly your spacecraft, you must avoid enemy fire and destroy their spaceships. Don't forget to refuel occasionally, or this could make your mission a short one. Beware of sunset, because as soon as the night creeps in, the dark makes your task become impossible. But as we know in video games, nothing is impossible. It only gets more challenging, and if you're playing on the Atari, it just speeds up a lot faster the further you go. I like this game. This is a unique horizontal shoot-'em-up, a shmup if you will. And for one thing, you fly from right to left, which is very abnormal. I don't recall very many games that do this. The graphics aren't half bad for the Atari 2600. The whole concept is kind of interesting, and you can either shoot your bad guys or just fly around and dodge them. As you notice, I'm doing that because I'm almost out of energy. And when you run out of energy, you can't shoot, and then you can't shoot that force field at the end of the level. This whole game reminds me of the old Battlestar Galactica from the 70s, which that's like one of my favorite TV shows ever. So anything that reminds me of Battlestar Galactica is a good thing. Although Classic Game Room HD has been busy reviewing some of the newest games like Gran Turismo 5 and Grand Theft Auto 4 and Warhawk and Dark Sector, that doesn't mean that we've forgotten our roots and go back to the obscure Atari 2600 games that you either never had or you owned it, but then you killed those brain cells in college and you've totally forgotten about it since then. This game gets bonus points for the unique cartridge design with the thumb grip. Just in case you happen to be covered in butter and need to pull the cartridge out of the Atari, Spectravision has given you a thumb grip. Now that's planning.